This is why I'm claiming double jeopardy, because I'm going for the same case over again, and this has been dismissed.
We are on the record in case number 2024 TR 617, State of Kansas versus Abel Estrada Jr. Paulie Dean for the state. This is 2024 TR 617. Mr. Abel, you need to start your video and audio. All right, Mr. Abel, you are representing yourself today, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Judge, you never approved my order for withdrawal.
Yeah, you set that over for today.
Well, I do have your motion to withdraw. I also have the defendant pro se motion to dismiss with extreme prejudice, affidavit of true and affidavit of reservation of rights, request for writ of discovery, which you filed November 21st to 24.
This right here is a classic move straight from the Sovereign Citizen playbook. Estrada immediately throws out the term double jeopardy before the trial has even started, an attempt to derail the entire process using buzzwords instead of legal facts. But the reality is, his first case never even went to trial. There was no jury, no evidence, no proceedings. So legally, jeopardy never attached. It's a baseless argument dressed in legal-sounding language.
Censure.
Says he's going to pull himself out.
Okay, Mr. McClendon, what's your take on this?
Judge, my client wants me to support a position that I believe is contrary to the Constitution of the United States. And I took an oath to uphold that when I became an attorney, and I take that oath every year. And he's wanting me to pursue this position that I do not feel comfortable representing.
Your Honor, this is the same issue. I believe Mr. Paul was first appointed to this case. Essentially, the defense, as the court has seen, is one that's contrary to the United States Constitution, Constitution of the state of Kansas, that he's, for some reason, is exempt from, as a private citizen, on the laws of the state of Kansas.
Well, aren't we going to have the same problem regardless of what attorney he has?
That's correct. And if my understanding is correct, the court has indulged Mr. Abel in that it's appointed him two attorneys now. Two attorneys he's sought to have basically present a defense that's contrary to the Kansas Constitution, contrary to the oath that each attorney takes when they're licensed by the state, and additionally, this carries a maximum sentence of 30 days, which would typically not even make him eligible.
Estrada's own lawyer wants to withdraw from the case, and that speaks volumes. When your attorney stands before a judge and says, "My client insists I argue things contrary to the Constitution," it's no longer about legal defense. It becomes a disconnect from reality. Instead of building a case, he's building a wall between himself and any chance of being taken seriously.
Taking the effort to give him counsel.
Well, and didn't Mr. Estrada, didn't this attorney, William McClendon, represent you when this was brought in initially in city court?
Yes, and it was dismissed. This is why I'm claiming double jeopardy, because I'm going for the same case over again, and this has been dismissed already. Why am I going to court again?
Well, you didn't actually go to trial. You had a first appearance, as I recall, and then it was dismissed. So you haven't had any jeopardy attached. You've not had a...
The supremacy laws says that you cannot be tried or convicted of anything.
I know what they say. All right. Well,
listen to your words, sir. You just...
Despite everything, the judge remains remarkably patient. He takes the time to go line by line through Estrada's submitted documents, even pointing out odd references to military courts, Roman law, and the term servants. But like many sovereign citizens, Estrada confuses personal belief with legal authority. And judges don't rule based on belief. They rule based on law.
Represented by my attorney, but the paperwork that I support, that I put in there, is completely lawful, and he doesn't want to go forth with my paper.
So here is that where the disagreement is? You filed this voluminous motion to dismiss with extreme prejudice, as you captioned it, and he doesn't want to argue that for you? Is that why you two are in disagreement?
Yes.
amongst many other reasons, Judge.
Okay, well, Mr. McClendon gonna make.
Judge, if he's able to draft a motion of such, I don't see why he can't be able to argue it himself.
Well, I'm gonna have you stay on board, Mr. McClendon. And Mr. Abel, I have read your motion. Believe it or not, I did read it all. I read about your arguments for the Sixth Amendment right to counsel and your discussion of Attorney Richard Paw having a case conflict. Then you start talking about your commercial and private license plates. You start citing federal law that isn't even applicable here.
How's that?
And start getting into the US code. And you start talking about retaliation and coercion and right to confront witnesses, which I agree you do have, and they are here to testify, as I understand it.
Now, things take a turn toward the absurd. Estrada includes a fee schedule in his paperwork, demanding $50,000 just for saying his name, and millions more for things like fingerprints or retinal scans. Imagine telling a police officer, "Sure, you can look at my license, but it'll cost you 50 grand. It's not just unrealistic. It's legally meaningless. No courtroom in the country will uphold that.
50,000. If they want your social security, it's 100,000. If they want a retinal scan, is that 5 million? Fingerprinting, photographing, 200,000 each. Then DNA and a bunch of that stuff is 5,000. And you go on a long list of what you're going to charge them with, or charge them for talking to them. I'm not going to honor that fee schedule because I don't think that has any law, any bearing in this court. You either have the right to talk to the officers or you have the right not to talk to them. You have the right to talk to them with your attorney again, or you.
Because 49 CFR subsection 3.
All right, well, sir, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop you there. You've argued your point very extensively in your written documents. So I've heard your arguments in the written documents. I don't see any basis to them in this case, and I deny all of your motions and arguments. I note your objection for the record so you can appeal if you wish. As judge in this case, I'm denying your motion. We're going to proceed with your bench trial on a factual basis.
Yeah, but under what law are you basing this?
But what truly destroys his case is the deputy's testimony. Estrada openly admits that he had a fake license plate created by a private company. That's not speculation, it's a confession. Right there, that's the core of the charge. Case closed.
Please raise your right hand.
Yeah.
You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Very well. Please proceed, Mr. Dean.
Deputy Hanson, would you please state your full name and title?
Deputy Clinton Hanson of the Greenwood County Sheriff's Office.
And how long have you been so employed?
Since June of 2023 at this agency.
And how long have you say at this agency, have you worked at other law enforcement agencies prior to your employment?
Yes, sir. I have a grand total of 15 years in law enforcement.
And is that the same amount of time that you've been a certified law enforcement officer?
Yes, sir.
And back on August 21st of 2024, what were
On that day, I was just assigned to general patrol and any service calls or accidents that came up.
and were you patrolling the city of Eureka in Greenwood County, Kansas on that day and time?
Yes, sir.
And was there anything on that date that caught your attention as odd?
Yes, sir, there was.
And what was that?
While I was southbound on Main Street, I stopped at the stoplight and I noticed the vehicle in front of me had a very unusual registration on their vehicle.
And what was unusual about that registration?
Well, in 15 years of law enforcement, while I understand things change with license plates, I had never seen this license plate before. What also became very apparent to me as odd was the fact that it had a Kansas label on it, as well as a USDO.
It's exhibit number 1. I believe you have the possession of this at the Sheriff's Department, correct?
I do, search right here.
And that's a license plate that you removed from this vehicle, preserved for evidence for today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And does this appear to be an accurate picture and representation of the plate that you observed while you were on routine traffic patrol back
Yes,
on
sir.
August 21st, 2024?
Yes, sir.
And that's what you're referencing of Kansas and US DOT, not appearing to be something that you would normally see as far as the layout of it. Is private something you generally see on a license plate?
Not a plate that has ever been issued, to the best of my knowledge, by the state of Kansas or any other state.
Did you attempt to run this license plate before initiate or while you were investigating this matter?
I did.
And what, if any, information was dispatch able to provide to you?
There was no information. We could not get a what we call a return, or a return from the state with all of the vehicle information.
Kansas, a lawful Kansas license plate, would it not also show a month that it expires and a current sticker showing that it's been registered, tags and taxes paid?
Yes, sir, in the upper right-hand corner.
And that's where it's just indicating that it's exempt for some reason. Based upon the observations of State's Exhibit number 1, Your Honor, and I would move for admission of the same. He's identified it.
Any objection to admission of State's Exhibit 1?
And where did this plate?
That's the number. That's the one that I got from the DOT.
Question again, not where the number was generated from. Where did this actual physical plate, irregardless of the information on it, where did this plate come from?
From a company.
You requested that company make it for you, correct?
And then things escalate. In court, Estrada's wife jumps in, waving papers and backing up the bizarre fee schedule. She even claims he only signed a traffic ticket under duress. But here's the legal truth. Traffic laws don't disappear because someone claims emotional pressure. Courts operate on law and evidence, not emotion or personal disagreement.
At the moment. Go ahead.
Do you have any other witnesses you want to call, sir?
Call my wife.
Very well. What is her name?
It's Annie Estrada.
Annie
She's
Estrada, if you'll please come on the screen. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the information, the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. Ahead. You are Annie Estrada, married to the defendant Abel Estrada Jr. Is that? Were you with him at any time during his interactions with law enforcement on August 21st, 2024?
Yes.
Okay. And what do you want to tell me about that?
I just want to add that the DOT number that was on there was never read, because I told them that you need to check it. And we have the paperwork from the DOT that it is a registered number. So how, like, what is the issue? Run the number, it is registered under the Department of Transportation. And then they didn't want to do anything with it. They actually, so I had to pull out the fee schedule that we have. If you want to do business, then let's do business. Here's our fee schedule. And then when the officer, the deputy started writing the ticket, he actually told my husband, if you don't sign this, you're going to go to jail. That's not correct. I believe that's a violation.
I did under the threat of
Yeah.
harm.
So now he has
All right,
to sign it.
Mr. Estrada, she's testifying.
Yeah. So he signed it under duress.
Anything else?
My main concern here is what is the violation, because we both numbers are registered under the Department of Transportation, and the other,
What is that you're holding up?
the registration,
Oh,
transportation, care.
Estrada's closing argument takes an emotional turn. He speaks about being disabled, poor, and feeling targeted. But instead of using that to build a human defense, He returns to the same flawed constitutional arguments that don't even apply to his situation. It's frustrating to watch. There was room for genuine sympathy, but he wasted it on conspiratorial reasoning that undermines his own case.
Their evidence, you said you're not going to call anyone else, right, Mr. Estrada? More than a 5-minute closing argument. But remember, I'm pretty versed in this law of license plates, so I don't need a lot of legal argument. Go ahead, though, Mr. Dean, if you.
I could argue quite a bit about, mainly in regards to what Mr. Estrada is referencing.
Now, feel free to argue.
But I don't believe it's going to be of a necessary benefit to the court. I believe the court's well aware that regardless of whatever this is that Mr. Estrada has issued to himself, he may have received a KDOT or a U.S. Department of Transportation number associated with something. But Mr. Estrada is failing to acknowledge is the fact that this is the supremacy clause doesn't mean all things overrule everything to state rights, equal protection. As the court knows, all of those full faith and credit that the U.S. Constitution is the primary clause Mr. Abel just ignores, or Mr. Estrada. Kansas requires you to, if you're a resident of Kansas or you have a vehicle in Kansas, which we just showed us a registration for Central County, that you have a Kansas license tag. You don't get to just decide that you're no longer going to display a license tag from the state of Kansas. And he's displaying a tag that no one can run, no one can verify any information from, and I think that's clearly a violation of Kansas law that you make a finding of guilty. And that's all I have to say.
The judge, in the end, remains calm but firm. He delivers a clear verdict, guilty, not because of some elaborate conspiracy or government overreach, but simply because the license plate was not issued by the Kansas DMV. It's a straightforward violation of the law.
Thank you. Going back to the supremacy clause of Article 6, that says that all judges are supposed to be abound by this law of the land. I don't know why you keep, why they keep saying that I don't know what I'm saying. Of the United States, it's the supremacy law over any state law.